Welcome to Now German. Hello, everyone. Hi, C.
Hello, Gregor.
C, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Do you know how you can ask that in German?
Wie geht es dir?
Exactly. Well, you can easily have a look at our slides, but that's exactly what we look at today. And it's such a simple phrase, but a lot of German students mess this one up, even as they go to A2, B1, B2 level. I've seen so many students struggle with this. So that's why it's good to learn it now and know all the tips and tricks about it, even though it's a really simple thing. Okay?
Okay.
Then let's go. We have our dialogue. Hallo Sie. Na, wie geht es dir?
Geht mir gut. Danke. Und dir?
Mir geht es auch gut, danke. Lernst du Deutsch?
Nein, ich mache Pause.
Yes. All right. Two small things here. The first word you have, it is called is.
Yes.
Like, es geht mir gut.
Es geht mir gut.
Yes. And then the last word in your lines is called Pause.
Pause.
Yes, we also pronounce the E in the end. Pause.
Pause.
All right, let's look at this vocab that we need for that. First, we have na.
Na?
It's kind of an interesting word. You might not even find it in a dictionary, but we use it a lot as a filler word. It's kind of like so, well. And you can also use it as just a standalone greeting. So if you're meeting a friend, you can just say na.
Na?
Yes. And we also often combine it with wie geht es dir?
Wie geht es dir?
Which is how are you? And then the parts of this question, the verb is actually es geht.
Es geht.
Which is it goes. And then dir.
Dir.
Dir is another form of du. So basically it is you, but it is in the dative case specifically here. And we didn't talk about cases yet, so you don't need to worry about the grammar, just learn it as a fixed phrase for now. And then we have es geht mir gut.
Es geht mir gut.
And we have mir.
Mir.
That is I, which is also in the dative case. All right. And after you have this question and answer, you can also say danke.
Danke.
That means thanks. And then we have auch.
Auch.
That means also. And that's another tricky word for some German students because there is another separate German word that's called also, which sounds exactly like also, but it has a different meaning. So make sure you know auch is also. And then we have du lernst.
Du lernst.
Yes. And that's basically that is the word we use for study. Is also the word we use for to learn. But if you want to talk about studying something, in German we just say du lernst as well. And then, for example, one thing you can study is Deutsch.
Deutsch.
That's German. And it's the word for German language, or also if you say something is Deutsch, like a German cloth, German culture, you can also use this word Deutsch.
Deutsch.
Yes. And then there is Nein.
Nein.
That's no. Und ich mache.
Ich mache.
Yeah, that's I do or I make. You can see from the sound this word is related to the word I make, but we also just use it as I do. And then we have die Pause.
Die Pause.
That's the break. And in this case, if you combine the two, ich mache die Pause, I mean, you would translate it, I take a break. So in this specific context, you can say mache means to take, but otherwise it would never be take. Okay. Do you like Pause?
Yes.
Yes, me too. All right. Let's go and look at our dialogue one more time. Hallo Sie. Yes, I begin. Guten Morgen. Okay. Hallo Sie. Na, wie geht es dir?
Es geht mir gut. Danke. Und dir?
Mir geht es auch gut, danke. Lernst du Deutsch?
Nein, ich mache Pause.
Yes. All right. And now let's talk about this kind of tricky thing that I mentioned about to ask how someone is doing. The way we ask that properly is exactly how we did in the dialogue. For example, wie geht es dir?
Wie geht es dir?
Yes. And the mistake that I hear so many German students make is they just try to translate literally, are you good? Which would be bist du gut? But that's just a non-grammatical phrase in German, because if you actually ask that, what you would ask is, are you good at some kind of skill? Are you good at drawing? Are you good at painting? You know, this kind of thing. So it doesn't really ask about how your condition is. So you need to ask, what do you need to ask?
Wie geht es dir?
Yes. And now let's say you are talking to your boss. How would you say this in the formal way? Do you know that?
Wie geht es Ihnen?
That's right. Wie geht es Ihnen is the formal way to say that. And then the answer is, no matter whether formal or informal, mir geht es gut.
Mir geht es gut.
Yes. And here exactly the same thing. So many students will say, ich bin gut, while they're trying to say something like, I'm good, I'm well. But also here it would mean that I am good at doing something. I'm good at speaking Chinese, or I'm good at making flower arrangements. So you're not talking about your condition. But instead we say,
Mir geht es gut.
yes, right. Okay, let's look at the dialogue one last time. Hallo
Hallo.
Sie. Hallo Sie. Na, wie geht es dir?
Es geht mir gut, danke. Und dir?
Mir geht es auch gut, danke. Lernst du Deutsch?
Nein, ich mache Pause.
All right, that was our dialogue. So let's go and take eine Pause, shall we?
I have a question.
Okay, what is your question?
Could we go back to the dialogue?
Yes, sure.
So there is mir geht es gut
Mhm.
and es geht mir gut. Are they the same?
Yes. So in German, you have some flexibility with the word order sometimes. And in this case, they are exactly the same. Es geht mir gut and mir geht es gut are both fine. The only thing to know is that the verb needs to be in the second position. So you can't say geht es mir gut. If you do that, then it's a question. And if you try to put the verb in the end, mir es geht gut, that's just a wrong sentence. So for the statement, verb is in position 2, other parts are flexible.
Okay. And for the formal way to say it is wie geht es Ihnen? So only der change to Ihnen from informal to formal.
That's right, because in this case, gehen is conjugated in the third person singular. So basically, he, she, it. We are talking about something doing something to that person. It's not directly the verb connected to the person. And so you don't need to change the verb in this case. It's only the dir changes to Ihnen.
Got it.
Okay, any more questions?
No, danke.
Danke. All right, then we'll see you in the next one. Tschüss.
Tschüss.